Well, I think the move to widen the trading band was very much premeditated on the part of policymakers, but timing was a question. I think seeing it when we did was probably a little bit earlier than expectations would have had it. I was expecting sometime in the second half of the year, but I think we did know it was coming. On the depreciation of the renminbi, I think a lot of it, at least what got us to current levels over the past couple of weeks, was essentially the engineered squeeze on the part of the PBOC to ensure a more balanced positioning in the renminbi market with an eye towards further exchange rate reforms, such as the widening of the band. I think given the most recent employment data that we're probably tracking another $10 billion in total asset purchases to be tapered. I think the thing to look for is the tone in Chair Yellen's communication and also any shift in the economic forecast, which could have policy implications for the pace of further tapering going forward. So I'm still a little bit more bullish on the U.S. dollar against a lot of the EM currencies. I think we still have a good amount of political risk out there, which tends to hurt EM a bit more than you would say the G7. And certainly I think Asia, considering the sentiment towards China currently, is probably looking a little bit weaker against the U.S. dollar from current levels, at least according to my forecast. Euro's had a pretty impressive run. I think we're starting to get up to levels that are going to probably cause some ire amongst policymakers if we see too much more appreciation there. The Indian rupee, I think, has been exhibiting an impressive degree of stability considering the events going on in the external financial market environment. From my point of view, fundamentally, the currency is not necessarily something that I'd like to get bullish on over the longer term, but in a shorter term basis, I think there's a very good argument for the rupee as a vehicle for a carry play. And certainly the yields that you can get out of the rupee compared to the volatility is now much more attractive than it has been in the past and fairly attractive relative to the rest of Asia.